All right, what's up, y'all? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are getting through this week. It's the beginning of finals week. Hope you guys are staying calm, not letting it stress you out, and getting the job done. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the start of your time off. So I had to do this video because I didn't get a chance to do it or talk about this during the quarter. So in 2020, when we came back from the pandemic and started doing in-person classes, actually this probably actually started before the pandemic, and then I made even more of a mission after the pandemic. But I always want to figure out a way to give more to the students. I've started thinking of new ways to approach the classroom and give more information. How can I give more information to the students that enter my classroom? And that's just outside of hip hop and ballet. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you all that information as far as dance goes, but then I started thinking like, how much can I give just in life, right? In information I can give you guys about just in life and things that may help you get through your duration at UCR. So then I started coming up with, started reading more books and watching more podcasts and things of that nature, or interviews or documentaries, and started sharing it with the classes. So usually I take a day during the quarter, and we'll sit and talk, and then I will share it then. And for some of my classes, I think we did have that moment where we sat down and we talked, and I got to know you guys a little bit more. But I didn't get a chance to share some of this information with you. So one thing I always want to do is, I think there's just some books that I think I can share with you guys and if you haven't read these books, man, I think they will be very beneficial to you during your time here at UCR, and for even after you leave and graduate. These are just some books and good information that I think would be very helpful for you just in life, because they've helped me. So with that being said, I didn't want to leave you guys without giving you this information. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm giving you this video, right? So one of the books that I think you all should read, and I personally believe that the best gift that you can give anybody is a book, is knowledge. That's the best gift that you can give anybody. Not the fresh J's, not the new pair of Jordans, not no clothes, not flowers. I mean, all that stuff is fine and it's great, and it's from the heart. But man, the best gift you can give anybody is a book. And a couple years ago, that's what I started doing, man. Birthday presents, from whatever the event may be that I may have to bring a gift, that's what I give. I may give something else, but with that, I'm gonna give a book. So I think knowledge is the best thing that you can give someone. So, and with that, I think I try to gift that to all my students as well. How much knowledge can I give you guys for the 10 weeks that I have you? So, and hopefully, I try to do, I did a good job at that, and I'm always constantly working on myself to try to be better at that. So, here we go. First book I think everyone should read, if you haven't read it yet, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Take that, look that up, and and I'm gonna say this as well. Like, I understand that you have all your other classes, and you probably have a lot of readings that you have to do for all your other classes. And I always mention this as well. You don't just, a lot of these books that I'm giving to you, like, they're also on Audible. So, you can listen to these books as well. I listen to a lot of books, so it's always a good way to help pass time. You know what I mean? If you have to drive to school, or if you walk to school, walking across campus, just pop it in your ear, listen to it little bit by little bit, chapter by chapter, and before you know it, man, you'll get through books like that. So we get overwhelmed with, oh my God, another book I got to sit down and read. You don't necessarily have to sit down and just read these, man. I actually highly recommend getting the Audible version of these books. So that book was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think that's a great book to have, great book to read. Another book is Will. It's actually one of my favorite books, Will, by Will Smith. And I strongly suggest getting the Audible version of this book. I listened to the Audible version, plus I even bought the hard copy of this book. But the Audible version, it's told by Will Smith. And we all know Will Smith, great actor, hip hop artist, and the visuals that he provides in his Audible version of his book is just so dope. It's one of my favorite listens, favorite books to listen to. So, Will by Will Smith. I think that's a great book to read. Another one is As a Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinketh. This book is great for anyone to read. I think you all should read that one. And As a Man Thinketh is a short book. It's a thinner book, so it's not a long read at all. Will, on the other hand, is a long read, but it's so entertaining. But anyway, As a Man Thinketh, that is a great book to have and read. Another one is The Greatest Salesman in the World. The Greatest Salesman in the World. Get that book. That's also a really good one to read. And The Greatest Salesman in the World and As a Man Thinketh is a book that I read several times. I've read this one many times over. So, and that's how small it is. It's a quick and easy read. So you have As a Man Thinketh is a good one. The Greatest Salesman in the World is another one. Another one is The 10 Times Rule. The 10 Times Rule. Really good book. That one's written by Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is the author of that book. So The 10 Times Rule. Really good book. Another book called Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. I also recommend to get the audio version of that book too on Audible. I listen to Audible, but wherever you can listen to books, whatever if you're Spotify or Apple Music, you can listen to books on all those streaming platforms. But yeah, Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God, really good book to listen to. I love that. So another one you have, Wealth Habits. So the Wealth Habits, I was reading all these books, and I was reading all these books about just about success. A lot of these books is really about that, about success, just being a good person, manifestations. So I was reading all these books, and then I was like, man, all the books that I'm reading are by men. So let me start looking up some books that are written by some women. So Wealth Habits by Candy Valentino. Candy Valentino. Really good book. I listened to her book as well. She's a really good, and all the books that I listen to, or the books that I'm naming, are all told by the author. So the authors are the ones that's reading these books on Audible. So it's a really good book. So Wealth Habits is one that you want to get out there and purchase, listen to, read it. I just think these books will really help you guys on your journey. I think these books are definitely books you should read while you're here. While you're at UCR, read these books. At least read a few of them, especially the ones to read while you're at UCR is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, for sure. If you can work that in before you graduate, do that. The Greatest Salesman in the World is a good book to read while you're here. Don't try not to wait until you graduate to get those. Even if you do, it's all good too. And As a Man Thinketh. Those three books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, and The Greatest Salesman in the World. Those three, if you can read those while you're here at UCR, dope. You'll see, once you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So what I give you, I'm gonna go down the list again. I got my list right here that I'm looking at. So the books are, one more time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Try to read that before you leave UCR. Will by Will Smith. Very good book to listen to. As a Man Thinketh. Try to read that before you leave UCR. The Greatest Salesman in the World. Also try to read that before you leave UCR. The 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. Really good book. Wealth Habits by Candy Valentino. Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. So those are your books, man. If you can, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to sit down with you guys and really go over that, but you know, busy quarter for all of us. Some of you guys email me and tell me about how busy the quarter been for you. I get it. It's been crazy for me as well. So I totally understand. But if you can, man, work those books in. And just to give you, some podcasts to listen to, just to, stay on top of the culture of hip hop, and just stay on top of popular culture. You can also listen to, tune in to the Breakfast Club if you don't already do that. Breakfast Club isn't a podcast; it's actually a radio station, or radio show, I should say. But you can go on YouTube and listen and tune in to the interviews, the people that they interview. So you can watch the Breakfast Club on YouTube. Another podcast to tune in to. These brothers really mostly interview athletes, but I really fell in love with this podcast because they interview all types of people, man, and their interviews are just really, really, really dope. And it's called the Pivot Podcast. The Pivot Podcast. Whenever you can, try to tune into that one. There's some other ones, man. I know there's one more that I tune into that I can't think of. There was one more. So I gave you those books. I gave you the Pivot Podcast to listen to. I gave you the Breakfast Club to listen to. Now, here's another one. Now, this brother I love listening to, and he doesn't really have books per se, because he was on a radio station, so he mostly have recordings. So I listened to him on YouTube, but so his stuff hasn't been really converted into books. But you can look him up on Audible or as an audio book. But I will listen to anything by Earl Nightingale. If you just go on YouTube and type in Earl Nightingale, he's who I listen to every morning. I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, have my cup of coffee, I put my headphones on, I listen to Earl Nightingale just to get my day started, you know what I'm saying? So I listen to this brother daily, and I'm actually in search for some actual vinyl record recordings of him. But yeah, Earl Nightingale, I listen to anything by him. He has one called the Greatest Secret. There's several of them, but like I said, look up Earl Nightingale, take a listen. Some of them are only 30 minutes long, some of them are 15 minutes long, some of them are like an hour long, but anything by Earl Nightingale, listen to him, and he's one of my favorites. So there you have it. That's more information that I'm just trying to share with you guys, man, and because I want nothing but the best for all of you. I want nothing but success and greatness for all of you. And in order to be great, You have to listen to the great. You have to read what great people read, and move like greatness. I truly believe that. And I want nothing but greatness for each and every one of you. So that's why I share this information with you. So there you have it. Excuse me, that's the information. Those are the books, podcasts. Till we meet again, peace and love. See you.